Welcome, everybody, to episode number 14 of the Checked In podcast. Got Michael, Zach, and Antonio is back. This episode is sponsored by Popple, your digital business card. Professionals put Popple on their phones and keys to instantly share contact info with everyone they meet. The best part? The other person doesn't need a Popple or an app to receive your information. Buy yours now at www.popple.co. That's www.popl.co. And use code CHECKEDIN at checkout to get 25% off of your purchase and help out the podcast. So, Zach, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Reggie Bush, college players getting paid. We're talking about Conor McGregor, Poirier, and a mystery flight. A couple mystery flights. Boom, boom.
We're talking about it all.
Yeah.
Everything.
A triple header. Pause.
Why don't we start?
No freaking.
Why don't we start with Reggie Bush?
Reggie Bush?
Yeah.
All right. So, as you may know, as you may seen, maybe not, June was a crazy month. Released a whole bunch of documentation about aliens and other extraterrestrial stuff, and throughout the year, we'll see more of that. Boom. July happens. First day of July. They grant NCAA players endorsements, eligibility to all NCAA athletes.
Which should be a thing.
Because
been
if
coming
the
for a long
college
time.
ain't going to pay them, somebody else will. You know what I mean? College is doing their part, laying out scholarships. I personally think they should have lengthened the amount of scholarships past, I think it's like 25 or 25 active players or 50 players or something like that can be on scholarship. So I think they are 25 per year. So there can be like, for 4 years of college, there can be like 100 scholarships out there, which kind of covers the whole team almost. There's like average 150 players on the team. So there's like usually 50 players that are fucked over. But
no big deal.
no big deal.
Come out of
Yeah,
pocket.
yeah, they can just pay out of pocket. Financial aid can fucking destroy their life. Student loans and all that shit too. But well, that's full ride because some of them can be on partial. But yeah. So now they can be open to endorsements, which means the best video game in America can come back without any litigation, action, legal issues, anything like that.
Is that why they took it away?
And I'll drink to that.
That's why they took away NCAA.
Yeah, that's why they took away NCAA football from the EA Sports franchise and all other franchises for NCAA because they couldn't use a likeness of players because players could not get paid based on their likeness. So Reggie Bush and is destroying on YouTube. He's another player. They wouldn't let him get money off his YouTube videos because he was recording himself as a college football player and gaining monetization from YouTube on his YouTube channel about his vlogging and the daily life of a D1 athlete. So
He was getting paid for that?
yeah, he was getting
Yeah.
paid from monetization from YouTube. Yeah,
He's getting
I
paid
didn't
by,
know that.
yeah.
And he's not allowed to?
He wasn't allowed to at the time. He had to forfeit his scholarship or forfeit
What?
his money income from YouTube. He was actually making money from YouTube. He was only gaining education from there. But his fans were so loyal that they funded his college through GoFundMe. And then the rest he covered with his YouTube money. So he's already like educated. He's gone out. He's played for the Canadian Football League. Like he's had a professional career. The Canadian Football League thing didn't work out for him. Because they
he
were
went
like,
from the NFL to CFL?
no, he never went to the NFL. He's got
Reggie
NFL.
Bush?
No, I'm talking about
It's a
destroying.
YouTuber.
Yeah.
Not Reggie Bush.
Destroying, yeah.
Okay.
Destroying went to the CFL, and then he had NFL trials, but I don't know. I guess they didn't sign him because he was just like the main thing around Destroying not getting signed by the NFL is just because he didn't submit to the NCAA, so they figured he'd be like another Kaepernick or somebody else that was more outspoken and wouldn't like bow down to the NFL.
You can't have that.
He's nice though.
Yeah,
He's nice,
bro. He literally like rainbow kicks a football, and then while that happens, it lands spinning, and he kicks like a 60-yarder off the dirt,
Yeah,
like
he's
not off
really
a tee
good.
or anything.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, he's fucking nice, bro. So Reggie Bush, what happened with him? His family was like poor in California, where it's already a poverty-stricken state. and they basically couldn't afford their rent. They were behind. Their parents were like bankrupt or whatever. And a booster saw him like, hey, yo, I don't want you to be distracted. Now, this is during prime time USC. They're like the best fucking football program in the land. They have Snoop Dogg and all these LA rappers and all these celebrities coming to their practices, playing with them, like practicing with them, all that shit. Invited to parties. They literally are the kings of LA. They can walk into any club, not have to pay for shit. They have everything and anything they want handed to them and everything like that. So Reggie Bush and a few other players, they just didn't want to name it. Also, players from Miami were getting paid by drug dealers and all this other stuff too that was off the charts and all that shit. And they got disqualified from their eligibility because they were getting money from players. You know what I mean? So they got fucked up, and then they fucked up their future Miami players for like however long. I think it was like an 8-year suspension from scholarship. So anybody that played for Miami was literally just playing their balls out without getting paid for school or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a little shaky on the Miami situation. I know that. Oh no, they were suspended from bowl games and stuff like that, or something. They couldn't participate.
How is the NCAA gonna ban a player because a drug dealer's paying them money?
Well, that was in Miami, but they got it was more than just that. The coaches and all that shit they were all like, it was just a classic Miami like scumbag fucking ordeal going on there. Like if you think of like Vice City, it was like that plus Miami's football team. So it was like crazy. Like Miami's already a crazy city. Like
I still agree with that because that's kind of a stupid rule. That's kind of like when you're at school. Yeah. If you post something online to like one of your social medias, your school can like suspend you.
Yeah.
I feel like the drug dealer situation though is like, it's almost like having a job and getting paid at the job and being like, well, you can't get paid.
But they weren't like selling drugs to my knowledge. I mean, unless you're Aaron Hernandez.
Was it because it was related to drugs?
It was because they were getting paid money.
So.
No, it was because they were getting paid money.
Because you're an athlete.
So because they're getting
you can't have
money. You can't have a job.
Yeah, you can have a job, but you just can't get paid because of your football likeness. So basically, Reggie Bush's situation was he wasn't getting paid at all. They just bought his parents like a $200,000 home in LA, and his mom, and they paid like his mom and dad's debt off and all that stuff.
Who did?
And, the boosters from USC. Yeah.
Really?
So USC then gets suspended from whatever. Coach Carroll, who's the Seahawks coach, he like left after like a couple years after that because he was like, shit, whatever. He knew about it. They all knew about it. Everybody knew about it. And then there was other players getting paid and stuff too, but they didn't. They all just put it all on Reggie Bush. So now that they're allowed to get paid, and the whole reason with the NCAA Football 14 franchise through EA Sports is, the video game, they got sued because they weren't paying the players. So it's like weird.
And that game had players in it though, right?
Yeah, they used the numbers and the physical makeup of the players, but they just didn't put names. Yeah. They put like number 8, cornerback number 8, running back number 12, whatever you know what I mean? So like they just used the image of the player, but they just didn't put the name on the player. So they still used their image, and then they got sued. NCAA said, no, you can't do this because you're still using these players and you're not paying them. And then I think EA Sports had a total like $70 million they had to pay out to all the old players from the franchise, like from the day one game that they made all the way up until 2014. And then, so all the old players ended up getting their check for playing the game or being in the game. And then, so like Reggie Bush, everybody's like, especially Johnny Manziel, he tweeted like, make sure Reggie Bush gets his Heisman back. Let's give him his Heisman back. Reggie Bush didn't have to give it up. He just gave it back because he was like, hey, maybe that'll save USC from all the turmoil from this. Because he just felt bad. He loved his university. He loved his city.
It didn't save him, though, did it?
It didn't save them at all. They just took it back, and NCAA was just being a dick.
So now he's trying to get the Heisman back, or has that been done?
He's trying to get it back. He actually called NCAA, wrote them letters, and they haven't responded. They actually told him when they did respond that they weren't going to look into the situation at all. So his Heisman Trophy and all his records and all the NCAA records that USC set have been suspended, but it's still acknowledged. Same thing with Miami. All their records and stuff has been suspended, but it's still acknowledged by people and it's still acknowledged by the NCAA, but it's just out of the history books per se, or out of the record book for NCAA. But it's in the record book still, but it's with an asterisk because.
So Reggie didn't have to stop playing though, did he?
No, he actually went to the NFL. This was after he went to the NFL that they
found out after.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
He declared for the draft, and then everything else happened after that.
Oh well.
So he was already the Heisman. He was already the best. At USC, already had 2 Heismans in the time Reggie Bush was playing there. That was like probably arguably the best. Besides, I feel like Heisman wise, besides Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield, and Kyler Murray, pretty much the best franchise to produce 2 Heisman. Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield were just in a quarterback-prone system. USC just had raw talent, and like not that Oklahoma didn't, but they just had raw talent. And like
USC made some crazy good players.
Yeah, it was pretty much like the Alabama team. They had like 2 or 3 players in the top 5 votes for the Heisman vote.
Mm.
As like that team
was Troy Polamalu part of that same team?
Yes, he was in that. Yeah, he was in that team. Yeah, he was
with Reggie Bush.
Yeah, he was in that whole generation. I think he left. I think he left before Reggie won the Heisman. I think he was there when I forget the guy's name. He's an ESPN reporter. Matt Leinart. That's what it is. Matt Leinart won the Heisman. I think Reggie Bush. Polamalu was on that team. Yeah, because he was like early 2000s.
You know Polamalu was crazy,
savage, bro. So like, probably the best safety in history, unbiased. Like. The way he played, like nobody else is playing.
I mean, extremely biased, but it's a fact.
It's not.
It's biased, but it's a fact.
It's already
being a Steelers fan. It's biased.
Yeah,
but it's a fact.
You got Ed Reed. You know what I'm
saying? Ed Reed is probably Ed Reed, Polamalu, Bob Sanders. Sean Taylor wasn't there long enough. He had potential though. He was definitely great. College wise, probably top. Yeah.
Brian
Dawkins was savage. Yeah, those are probably like the top 4.
I think it's
Ed and Troy. Yeah, for sure. Those are the top 2 for sure. They just had a different dog in them, bro. But they were both from those dynasties, though. Like that USC and that Miami dynasty, those 2 are from those dynasties. Like, arguably, you can place those teams like as the top 5 in the top 5 teams of college football history. Ever.
Where did Jalen Waddle play? And
Jalen Waddle, they were all from Alabama, from the super
that wide receiver class.
Yeah,
Jerry Jeudy.
When was that?
Smith.
That was like they all are from like the past 3 years. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy. Von Chase Smith, Jalen Waddle, the dude
from Alabama or USC?
Alabama.
The one fast Henry Ruggs.
That's what I'm missing. There's another one too, but I forgot his name.
Yeah, receivers like crazy.
I think he's still there, number 17. I think he's staying for his senior year. Or number 17. I think he's number something else. Yeah. But like he could have went to the NFL too this year and got drafted within the first 2 rounds or 3 rounds. But yeah, it's crazy because it's like now the NCAA's new video game is coming out in 2023, projected by EA Sports. So like now they're going to be able to pay all these players, but there's rumors saying that they're going to include the past, however, 6 or 7 or 8 years at the time, or I think it's like 9 years at the time that they haven't been able to create a video game. So they're going to include all the Heismans. They're going to include all the trophy winners. I don't know about anything more than that, but that's what's been rumoring on Twitter and YouTube.
You're saying they're going to pay all the previous players that weren't in the game?
Yeah. They're not going to pay all those players, but all the significant figureheads from all the significant players. Well, they were already in the games. So they already got paid. Yeah, because it was up to 2014.
Recent.
Yeah, recent. So like anybody from like 2014, the 2014 season was not in the video game, but I think the rosters from the preseason were, because they always update the preseason rosters. But the game came out in 2013. So the game came out in 2013 for 2014. So like all the players from the 2013 rosters beyond got paid. And then the 2014 year till 2023, like 9 years.
Yeah.
They're going to try and put all the significant Heisman winners, all the trophy winners, all the championship teams, players in those years.
The last NCAA game was 14?
Mm-hmm. But it came out in 2013, just like Madden comes out a year before.
They're bringing it out again now?
In 2023.
2023. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. They had the players' faces on the covers, though, right?
Yeah, but that's after they went. Only the players that were eligible for the NFL, they got paid for the cover.
Okay.
Yeah, they got paid for the cover. That
makes sense, because I was going to say how they do that.
Yeah, because they're technically professional players, so then they could get paid off of that.
So they only did players that went to the NFL to be on the cover of the NCAA.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to get around it.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty straightforward situation with Reggie Bush. It's pretty simple. I mean, if they're going to start allowing to pay players, and the whole reason all of his records and all of whatever he won was taken away because he accepted money, well, then all of it's negated.
Yeah.
It shouldn't make sense anymore.
Yeah, but NCAA is trying to stand firm on what they've done in the past. But it's like, how much money did he bring to your tables, to your pockets, to your broadcasting, everything like that, across the whole board?
Millions.
How much jerseys did he sell for the university? Like, the university cares about him. The university is actually advocating for him, too, to get his Heisman back. A lot of other famous football players, coaches,
I saw a lot of stuff. A lot of players are.
They're at their necks, bro. Like
Mahomes?
Everybody from Brady down. Like,
there's a lot of players coming together about that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel?
I feel the same way they do. I feel like, hey, give him his shit back. Give USC their shit back. Go forward. Give Destroying his shit back. Like, all that shit. Like, give anybody who has ever got suspended, Miami, like, all those teams.
Well, Destroying,
give them their shit back.
He didn't do much.
He didn't because he only played for like a couple years, and then but give him the money back that he paid for school. Give him his scholarship money back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he had to come out of pocket and get funded and all that shit. Like, give him his money back, bro.
He's making bread now, though.
Yeah.
He's making bread for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What's he doing now?
He's just
he's probably like the top 50 YouTuber right now.
He said he only had about 3 or I think it was either 3,000 or 10,000 subscribers when he was like fully. He was like, fuck this.
He literally just was making like $600 maybe per video.
So what does he post? What does he post now?
He posts like he goes one-on-one with all the best players. AB, Tyreek Hill, George Kittle, like everybody.
What position does he play?
He's a kicker, but he's also an athlete. Like, he can play wide receiver, he can play corner,
he looks like a receiver pretty much.
Yeah, he can play any position.
Who was that kicker or punter for the Raiders? Marquise.
Yeah, Marquise King.
He's kind of like him. How he was athletic as hell.
Yeah,
that's how he is.
Marquise King. He's actually one of the main people that they're really close friends. And he goes around the country. He like hosts events for the high school football players. He has camps. He goes and scouts the teams and goes visits like the top games in the country for high school football. Like, he goes into his own Florida community and he reaches out to those teams. So he's a good dude. Like, he's a standout dude, great talented dude, but he's a good person too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, person. Yeah. So like,
he's a good dude.
Give him his shit, dude. Give him his money back. Give him his scholarship money back. Like, refund my boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, University of Central Florida, you should have stepped in and gave him an academic scholarship because he was on honor roll. You should have stepped up in some way and still gave him his money back. You know what I mean?
How do you feel about the Reggie Bush situation?
Honestly, I mean, I get both sides of it because like, you're not supposed to get paid, or I guess
receive
anything as a college player. So I get that point of it, but at the same time, like, regardless of that situation, Reggie Bush still did what he did. Yeah. Regardless of what he got.
Well, he didn't do anything.
No, I'm saying like on the field.
Oh yeah,
records wise.
Whether his parents had a house ball for them or not.
Yeah.
He still absolutely killed it when he was playing. Yeah. And that's where the trophy comes from. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like he was doing drugs to make himself better. He was just
he was
his parents were just living comfortably while he was tearing it up on the field.
Yeah,
and so that takes nothing away from his stats.
Yeah, at all.
You can't because the Heisman's based solely on what you do on the field.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't take that from him and be like, oh well, since you got this, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like for me, if you're doing some performance enhancing drugs. Yep. Then you can get taken out of it.
Yeah.
Or if you're cheating in some way, you can get taken out of it. Like there are baseball players now. Like there's baseball players now that cheat while they're pitching. The sticky shit or whatever. Yeah. That you shouldn't be doing that. You should be disqualified from a game. But even if he's smoking weed, the players now that are getting caught smoking weed, like that one runner from the U.S. Olympics.
Yeah.
That's going to be going
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah. But that should make a difference because Michael Phelps smoked weed and he still killed it. Usain Bolt smoked weed and they got a couple medals taken away, but still.
I feel like Sha'Carri Richardson though, the whole thing with weed is just it can impair you from driving. It's just treated just like alcohol. So if you're running full speed on a track where this is how far you're away from the next person. If you fall or you're just too high and you're running, You can injure somebody's whole career and fuck up the whole Olympic race.
But she's not.
But she wasn't running.
I mean, I'm not saying you are, but you could. I'm just saying in general, as any athlete running in a race.
Yeah, but you got NFL players. Like, I don't remember his name. I think he was a receiver.
Ricky Williams from the Dolphins.
He's talking about Josh Gordon.
Nope, wasn't him either.
Oh,
it was someone who played his whole career. He was good, and he came out with a statement. He said, "I did not play a single game not high. Every game I played."
Oh, it was a Bills player.
No,
nah,
it was
He was nice. He was
shit. What was his name, bro? I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
but the alternative to that. Have you seen the statement by Brett Favre?
No.
So the alternative to that the NFL is completely okay with, Brett Favre said that he would consume.
Marshawn Lynch.
I want to say
Marshawn Lynch drunk Henny. He drunk Henny before every game.
Yeah, that's next level.
Yeah.
Brett Favre, though, he said that he consumed either a week's worth or a month's worth of painkillers in one day, but they were prescription. So the NFL is like, okay, cool. You consumed mad painkillers your entire career, but it's prescription and it's legal, so you're good. But then like Josh Gordon, he's a great wide receiver, and he was smoking before games or after games.
Smoking and drinking.
Yeah.
Percy.
Yeah, Percy Harvin. Yeah.
Oh,
Percy Harvin.
Seattle Seahawks. He said I played every single down high.
Yeah.
And he was effective in performing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And
not because he was high.
Yeah.
Right. Not because he was high.
Because weed doesn't improve your
your
physical performance. At most it makes you focus.
But not only that, I've played high and I have like tendonitis and
you're going to jail.
And my shoulder and my ankle and my wrist from playing football all on my right side of my body, my dominant side. And what it does do though, and I've worked out high, you don't feel the tension, the resistance. Your body does not physically, like you might feel sleepy, but the CBD definitely kicks in and it definitely numbs that
pain,
injury and that pain, and like my muscles are not sore when I'm done working out after I'm high. A lot of bodybuilders work out high for that same reason. They don't get the tiredness and the soreness in their muscles, so they can get extra reps. They can get extra this, extra that. So it does enhance performance to a certain extent, as far as like it gives you more muscular endurance because you're not feeling the direct kill on your muscles or the direct soreness and you do definitely get a little extra rep, extra step, an extra stride. You know what I mean? Like you get hit hard as fuck, you're not gonna really feel it as much because the CBD pain-killing effect in the weed does come out. Weed is first a medicinal plant. It's for medicinal purposes.
Sounds like a recipe for CTE.
What is that?
Getting banged up,
it does. Yeah, but weed does help with Parkinson's and it helps with a lot of other shit. So like,
but now I'll give you three scenarios because all three are legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one smoking weed before a game or smoking weed period and being an athlete.
Yeah.
Or Brett Favre taking all those painkillers like a mad NFL players did.
That's the same thing though.
But being prescribed. But it's being prescribed. And it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing though because the NFL sees it as he's being prescribed these drugs, so it's fine if he takes them.
But they can't, because he's prescribed, they can't piss test him for it. And if they do find in his piss, it's prescribed, so it's not a mystery substance or like where you're getting it from.
The thing is though, prescribed medication, like prescribed painkillers, they have a much worse effect on your body.
Oh yeah,
than weed.
That's why Ricky Williams did after he had surgery. That's why the NFL kept kicking him out the league, because he would smoke weed because he knew weed would help him recover better than a synthetic drug that has all these side effects. He's like, why not just smoke weed where there are no side effects?
Right.
And besides like the wear and tear on your lungs, but it's very minimal compared to other smoking. But he's like, why not do that? I healed way better. I came back way, way better than I ever would. And the medicine that they prescribed him was going to destroy his internal organs, like his digestive tract. Yeah. So it's just like, his liver.
All the prescribed shit does. But going back to the Olympics real fast, though. Yeah. So what's her name?
Sha'Carri, actually. I was pronouncing it wrong. My bad. Yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson.
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah.
So she got just taken off of the USA Olympic team because she got caught smoking weed, right? Mm-hmm. Now,
I believe it's like a 6-month suspension.
The Tokyo Olympics is obviously. I mean, I know you've seen how like you can't. There's no BLM shit in there. Like, black swimmers can't wear like black headgear when they swim. They have to wear regular headgear. They can't wear the headgear that's like formed for their hair. Now they're not allowing any of that. But in the same exact Olympics, there are transgender women, so men who are now women, performing and competing in weightlifting competitions in the Olympics, and you already know how that's going to go. So tell me how.
And not only that, the T levels in some African track runners or something like that, or some African Olympians, are higher than normal, but they're not going against a transgender person that's a man that has a penis.
Well,
had a penis because they identify as a woman.
Now, how is that? My question is, how is it acceptable to be trans? I mean, I'm not cancel. But how is it acceptable for a transgender woman?
What you just said. That's why.
They're not trying to get canceled. The Olympics is not trying to get canceled.
How you just said that?
But how are you
feeling?
How are you? Like, but it's Tokyo's not even allowing like Black Lives Matter. They're not allowing kneeling. They're not allowing the fist. They're not allowing black swimmers to wear headgear that is specifically made for their hair. How is all of and smoking weed? But then a man is to compete in a female specific area. And obviously dominate.
That's turning down a person though. That's not turning down a view.
But turning down a person, like you're turning down for the hair. Like my hat is puffed out right now because I have African hair. You know what I mean? So like naturally African hair is more puffy and harder to maintain with a regular swim cap, which is why, their swim caps are going to be looking like an afros underneath it because of that whole thing. So now that's going to affect them swimming because they don't have the slick down, skin tight head cap. So, I mean, they can braid their hair and do whatever, but even then it's still not the same thing. So like you're still denying a person's characteristic of their body.
It's kind
of it's literally the same thing.
That's stupid. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
Performance enhancing drugs, shit like that, I can see. Even the transgender thing, I can see because you're naturally born with more higher testosterone, better ways to perform. But if you're taking shit that's serious, I believe that should be a reason to call it. But like weed, a cap, shit like that. And she's not even smoking weed to run better. She smoked weed because her mom died. And some person like interviewed her and then just like started talking about her mom and she was stressing out, so she smoked. She's not smoking to perform. She smoked to just get over life.
Just to cope with what's going on.
So that is beyond that. Now if you're pulling like a John Bones Jones and you're taking some crazy drugs trying to just beat people up, that's a bad move.
And he did coke too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is he back?
He's been back. Yeah, he's back and he whooped some dude's ass.
I'm not saying back like that.
The UFC.
Not like McGregor back, but he's fighting again.
John Jones just fought last year and won. Beat the dude's ass. Some younger dude.
He's skinny now though.
He's lost weight. He's gained. Yeah, he's back. He's coming back. I think he has another fight for the end of this year.
Speaking of fights,
John Jones though. Yes, we're gonna get that. But John Jones, bro, the shit that he was getting into when he was fighting. What's his name? What's his name? The UFC commentator now.
I forget.
Diaz.
No, the UFC commentator. Whatever his name is. Anyway, when he was going to fight him, he was on performance-enhancing drugs and cocaine and all that shit. And then on top of that, he got in a car accident with coke in the car and fled the scene. Like, I mean, you have to pick one fuck up. Not every single one.
He chose D. He won it all.
Right, all of the above.
And I don't think he served time at all.
No, because it was he lives in Nevada now.
Oh,
It's not the same.
Yeah.
And he's all got mad money. He paid off.
Yeah.